Hi, welcome back to my channel, According to Kat. If you are new here, please introduce yourself in the comments below. If you're returning, just say hi. And what are we going to be making today?
Okay everyone, today we are making 4 shabby farmhouse Valentine's Day DIYs. I loved how all of these turned out and I found them super romantic, and I used Dollar Tree and other budget-friendly products. If you want to learn how to make all 4 of these, make sure you stay tuned.
If you'd like to know what supplies I've used, check out the description box below. And with all that being said, let's get right into it.
Okay, DIY number 1, heart banner. So the first thing I did was I took this fabric that I got from a yard sale for $1, and I think it is so pretty and shabby chic. I am just going to cut out a piece of this to cut my hearts from. So now I'm just taking this piece and I'm going to fold it into 4ths, even though it is folded in half already, so that I can get double-sided hearts, and you'll see what I'm saying in a minute. So I have 4 pieces, wrong sides together. Now I just made this quick template of half a heart. I'm going to fold my fabric so that the center of the heart will be where the fold is, and when I open up, there we go, there's my heart. And I'm going to actually notch the center a little bit more, just because once you put the hot glue on there, that notch can get hidden a little bit. So just make sure you make that center notch down the middle a little more exaggerated. And they don't need to be perfect, but I wanted them to be somewhat the same size. But if you'd like to freehand it, you can do that as well. So I'm just going right around my template, and I am doing that 4 times. So you should have 8 hearts, because remember, wrong sides are together. So I decided to use my regular hot glue. I love Gorilla Glue hot glue because I think it holds pretty well. But if you don't want to use that, you can also use some fabric glue or just hand sew it. Either way, it'll all work out. So I'm just going right around the edges, and I will leave a nice little opening right at the bottom to insert my stuffing. Now, you can use an old pillow and kind of rip that apart. You can use some PolyFil that you get from Joann's. This is from an old pillow that I had some leftover stuffing from, or you can even use cotton balls. Whatever, you just want to get some filling in there to fluff up those little hearts for the banner. Now I am making 4 hearts, but you can actually make more or less depending how long you want your banner. And you can see what I'm doing right here. I'm actually taking my fingers and just ripping those threads a little bit out, because I really wanted that shabby chic look to this, just because I felt like that material gave me that vibe. So that's why I was doing that. I just wanted to be frayed on the edges. I used some hot glue right on the ends, and I just pinched that together right to close that opening closed. Close that opening closed. Don't ask. I wanted to close that opening up, so I just pinched my, you know what I'm saying, forget it. Just keep watching. Now I'm going right around the edges again with my second heart, and again just filling it up. I actually made an assembly line here, so I actually had hot glued the other ones as well, because I felt like assembly lines were good. And now I'm closing the end up, and there we go. And I was burning myself, yes, if you're wondering. So if any of that fuzz comes out while you're doing this, which happens towards the end, I just took my scissors and I just cut off anything that was sticking out. And then I kind of just went around the edges and made sure there were no little holes, and then I would just add a dab of hot glue if there was. So this frame I got for $1 at a yard sale, and it's kind of like a, I don't know, like a baby bluish with a tinge of green. I love it, and it was perfect for this. Now this beaded garland, this wooden beaded garland that I got from Michael's, it was I think the Black Friday sale, and it was normally, I want to say $10, and then I got it for like $5. I want to say that was the price. But it was a very good deal, and you got a lot of beads, so that was my plan. I actually was going to use the red beads, and then when I was thinking about how that would look with that baby blue frame, I didn't love the look of it, so I decided to take my Waverly Chalk Paint in Ballet Slipper, which is a very light baby pink, and I'm going to paint all of these red beads that baby pink color. I actually gave it 2 coats and I did 5 beads. So I was going to have a set of beads on either side of every heart, and since there are 4 hearts, then I needed 5 sections of beads. Now I'm going to show you here. So I took some regular string, and you can't really see, but off camera, that's wrong, I have some plain beads. So what I did is I'm doing plain, pink, plain, like plain meaning wooden, and then I'm going to glue a heart, and then I'm going to do plain, pink, plain, heart, plain, pink, plain. Yeah, you get it. And I just went along and I did that, and you can see right here. And it's hard to see in this video, but because it looks like such a subtle change of color, but in person you can really tell. And there you go. So I did that 5 times. So at first I thought I was going to take some leftover of that fabric and make little ribbons out of it to put on each side of those bead patterns, but then I didn't like it, so I took that off. So how I'm going to attach my heart, I'm just going to put hot glue towards the top of the heart. Make sure it's at the top of the heart or your heart's going to like flip up. So at the top of the heart, I just put some hot glue straight across, and I'm forming the string right to it. And my heart stayed beautifully nice and straight, and however I put them. So make sure you keep it at the top. That's the key. And I went right along, leaving a little space between the patterns of the beads and the hearts. I felt like I sound like I don't know what I'm talking about, but hopefully you could see from the video. Okay, and just basting it. And my last one, I'm going to do the same thing. This was so super easy to make, but it is just so pretty. I love how this turned out. And I just put on that hot glue. And now just to attach it to that dollar frame, I am just kind of wrapping it around a few times, making a knot onto itself. And then this is Dollar Tree ribbon. It's that, yeah, I'm going to have to pause this video to look it up. What's that called? Lace. Yeah, lace ribbon. I just double knotted that right on that string, and that gave it even more of a shabby chic element, and I love it. Hot gluing right on the back so that those strings where I wrapped it around stay in place, and then I cut off any excess. And I put a little hot glue on this side, and that just makes sure nothing is moving around. Now you can hang this if you want. I liked it on my table, just leaning against the wall, because I just think it looked so cute. And this is it. I hope you like this as much as I do.
Lost again, going back around, dreaming of a time when I get things right, lost in the shadows of a million stars. Shouldn't they enlighten my near and far? Shouldn't they at all just tell me where you are? Send a prayer if I'm out of luck, send a little love and I'll make it back. Send me
DIY number 2, XO Wreath. So the first thing I did was I took this wood hanger, it's like a heart hanger from Dollar Tree, and I took the wooden letters from Dollar Tree, that was the X, and the O was actually a 0 because I wanted it thin, and that was from Dollar Tree as well. It is the wooden numbers. So what I'm going to do is take this Ballet Slipper from Waverly Chalk Paint, and I'm giving the X and the O a good coat. Now I'm going to cut off a piece of that same fabric. Actually, I'm going to cut off 2 slivers so that I have a long ribbon of it. And I'm going to use this to wrap around my Dollar Tree wreath. So this is one of those, what is it? Does it say what it is? Oh, I went too fast. I can't read it. Is it a willow wreath? I think it's a willow wreath. I could be completely wrong. Don't listen to me if it's not. I'm not sure. It's from the Dollar Tree though. It is. And I just took one. I start wrapping it around. I didn't hot glue it yet. I just wanted to see how it would look. And then once I get it kind of situated, I took my end, I hot glued it, and then I just tightened up what I had previously done and made sure that was wrapped around how I wanted it and spaced it accordingly. Okay, so now I got to the end of the first ribbon and I am hot gluing that right down, and then I'll take my next piece of fabric. Now you can actually use a real ribbon and not fabric, but I had this fabric and I thought it was so pretty, but you could use a Dollar Tree one as well. And if you are liking this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel and it lets me know what kind of videos you want more of. So now I just hot glued that first fabric ribbon onto the second fabric ribbon, and I will get to the end, cut off any excess, and then hot glue those two pieces of ribbon together again. So now it's like one big loop of ribbon. Okay, so now I am taking that wooden X and the O or 0, and I'm going to place them vertically on top of each other. Now you can go side by side. It did fit, but I liked this look better. I just thought it was interesting, so that's how I did it. And now I'm going to figure out how I'm going to attach it to the actual wreath. So I just took some regular twine from the Dollar Tree. You can get it in the automotive section, and I put it right through the hole, make a little knot at the top, and then I'm going to get my beads from the same beads that I used before from Michael's, or you can use the Dollar Tree beads that come on those little hanging frames, or whatever beads you have. And what I did this time is I did red and then a plain wooden bead and then another red. You will see a little bit later I do go back and I sand off some of that red. Now the reason being is, I don't know if I felt that it was too bright as much as I thought it was too shiny. Like it didn't go with the whole vibe of the whole shabby chic thing that I was going for. So I didn't mind the red so much because it was in the fabric, but because it was a little too shiny, that didn't go with my vibe. So when I sanded it down a bit, it dulled it. So I really liked it a lot more. Now I was thinking of putting a bow at the top once I attached this, but then I didn't like it. And I really like the simplicity of it with just the hanging heart. And so I left it as is. But you can add a bow or anything if you would like. And right here you can see I am just scuffing it up a bit just to take away some of that shine and to dull that red a bit, and that's it. This was so fast to make, but I really love this one. I think it's really pretty, and I hope you like it as much as I do.
A million people in the crowd, but I only see your face in all the lights. And as the bass keep pounding on me, baby, I really wanna make you mine. I don't really care about love. I don't really care about happy ever afters. Something about you gives me hope. Something about you, yeah. When the sun goes down and the night sky's falling.
Moving on to DIY number 3, the February 14th sign. And the first thing I did was I was going to take this wooden plank square from the Dollar Tree. I was also going to take these wooden sticker letters from the Dollar Tree. And then they didn't fit as well as they wanted them to. So then it was my bright idea to cut them and to trim them so they would fit better. But then I got a little too trim happy. And you're going to see in a second what I mean. So like right here, that doesn't look too bad, right? I don't know what I was thinking. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to go on it with some Mod Podge so that my paint won't go underneath. And then I'll have the wood showing from underneath where it says February, right? So in the meantime, I'm going to take my ballet slipper and I'm going to paint the 1 and the 4 from the Dollar Tree wooden numbers and put that to the side to dry. Okay, so this wasn't really ready, but I thought it would be ready. Like in my mind, it wasn't ready. It wasn't dry yet. But the stickers started coming up. So now I'm just taking my Waverly Chalk Paint in Elephant and in Mineral, mixing those together to make a base coat. Again, I wanted the feb to show through like with the raw wood. This was just a hot mess in the making. Look, I'm trying to pull it off. This was not working. Bad idea. Yeah, the whole thing. So I'm like, okay, I need to think fresh. So just know we all make mistakes. So I found this from Michael's. This is in their dollar section up towards where the registers are. Okay. So it says blessed. And I'm like, I'm going to make this work. I'm going to make this work. I'm not going to throw this away because this is a good idea. I'm going to make it work. So I took the B, E, and E from blessed, right? So I'm going to take one of those E's and I'm going to make it an F. That was my plan. So it's going to say Feb. Now, first I thought I was going to use that. That was a no-go. So then I used my branch cutters, which worked great. So yes, branch cutters in your craft room, do it. I use them all the time if you haven't seen my channel a lot, but I do use them all the time in my crafting. Okay, so I am just cutting off the bottom wood so that it goes straight across. Wait till you see when this is done. It looks like they were just individual letters. I wasn't pretty impressed with it. The E actually does look like an F. So again, I'm just cutting off the bottom where they were all attached, and I am just fixing it so that it says FEB. Now you will have some splintery edges. So all I did was I took my Dollar Tree sandpaper and I gave everything a good once over so that there were no like sharp edges and it wasn't looking frayed and stuff. And just so you know, that is a Dollar Tree sandpaper hot glued onto a Dollar Tree sanding sponge because I can't find them and I hate to throw anything away, and yeah, I just do it like that and it works. Just fixing it up to make sure it looks good. So this was one of those mistakes that made my project so much better. So that's why you just keep trying. I'm just using some hot glue and I'm just going to hot glue those right on. Now I would have probably never thought to do this, but because I messed up and I wasn't going to give up because this was not going to defeat me, I decided to figure out another method and this worked out awesome. Again, Michael's dollar section up by the where you check out. There's a whole bunch of wood products up there. Go check it out. I have another craft coming up with some other things I got from there as well, and that'll be in a couple weeks, but I'm so excited for those. Now I'm just using my hot glue on that one in the 4 and I'm putting those in the corner. And this was so cute and simple to make, but I love it. So the only thing now I need to do is put on a stand. So I used an old hanger from like a frame from the Dollar Tree. You'll see that in a second, but you can also use Dollar Tree tumbling blocks, anything like a little block of some sort to put right in the back, and that will stand it straight up. That's it. I hope you like this as much as I do.
I wanna do it all with you by my side. If you're in, meet me here tonight. Be brave and come along. I'll be your ride. Promise we don't need no brake lights. We can travel the world, so just say yes. Choose to do whatever comes next. This or that, getting drunk on whiskey on a Tuesday night, or drinking where I'm by an open fire, make love or fight. This or that.
And lastly, DIY number 4, felt flower. But first, I just want to take a quick moment and thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video. If you're not familiar with Skillshare, it is an online learning community for creatives where millions come together to take the next step in their creative journey. Skillshare offers thousands of inspiring classes for creative people just like us on topics including illustration, design, photography, and even crafting. Skillshare is for so many different levels. You could be a beginner, a pro, or all the way to a master, and you will find so many classes just for you. I love that most classes are under 60 minutes with short lessons to fit any schedule. You can see right here on your screen that they're broken up into segments, so you could watch them in like 5-minute increments, or you can watch it all at once. One class that I took that I loved was building an Etsy shop that sells by Parker Guard. I thought it was really helpful because it gave me strategies that I could use when I open my Etsy shop, and it also gave me examples of shops that are successful. I'm so excited because the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a free trial of premium membership so you can explore your creativity. So if you would like access to thousands of inspiring classes, make sure you check Skillshare out. And back to the DIY. So I am taking this Dollar Tree box frame that has a little cute sloth on it, and I'm just taking off the hanger on the back, and I'm going to pop the whole back out of this frame. Now, usually I don't have much of a problem, but I just could not get that out. It was in there pretty good, and I'm just taking off any of that leftover paper and just peeling that right off. Put that to the side, get my Dollar Tree sanding sponge, and I'm going to sand off any of that glue that's remaining or little pieces of paper. Now, one of those little flowers on that sloth, I will be using that along with this burlap banner from the Dollar Tree. I'm just using one piece of it. I'm going to cut it into the size of the box frame, so just into a square, and I'm going to take my regular hot glue and put it right on the edge. Now be careful here because the holes will make that hot glue go right through and right to your fingers, but my hot glue does not get that hot, so I don't tend to burn myself very much with this one. But so I'm pretty much okay with it, but be very careful. You can use a spatula or those little finger guards, whatever. Okay, so now I'm at the point where I need to put the hot glue on the final two sides, and I'm going to put a bead down one side and then the other side. But here's where it gets a little tricky. So this is where you want to push it down, but also pull towards the end. Like you want to pull towards the outside so that it makes that burlap fabric taut and that there's not too much give. So you want to make it as tight as it can be, and since there wasn't a lot of it, you got to play with what you got. So just push out while you're pushing down against the glue. Now I'm taking this pink felt. Now I got this at Target a while back, and it's a baby pink and I love it. So I'm just going to make flower petals. Now I'm going to make 5 large, 4 medium, and 3 small. I don't think you see them all here. I actually had to go back and make a couple more. And if you would like to see how I make a bunch of my flowers or a better detailed video, I will link that right here. And I will also link it in the description box below. I have a video where I show you how I make some denim flowers, some silk flowers, and some other types of flowers. And right here, I put a notch at the bottom of the petal, and then I put hot glue. This is a hot mess. Look how they just keep popping open because it's felt and I'm not holding it long enough. Like, do I not realize this? Okay, now I realize this. So I'm holding it over. It's sticking to my fingers. This is real crafting, people. This is not LA. No movie showroom here. It's so bad and embarrassing. Pretend you don't see it. Okay, so I'm just notching it over, and that gives each of those petals a shape. And then what I'm going to do is just kind of put a little hot glue, and you can see how I'm layering it right on each other. Now this is the largest of the bunch. So the largest petals, the 5 of them, I'm just going to go right around, and you can see this is going to make the base or bottom of the flower. And a little hot glue right here, and you can see, hold it a little bit. The felt, when you work with the other types of fabrics, it sticks like instantly, but with the felt, you really got to hold it a little bit or it kind of pops apart. And now I'm doing it with the medium petals. There's 4 of those, and you can see that. And then with the last bunch will be the 3 tiny petals. And if you want a bigger flower, you would just do 6, 5, and 4 or something like that. So just kind of keep staggering down in your numbers. Okay, so there's my final 3. And now I'm going to glue each of those sections together. So the medium will go on the large and then the small will go onto the medium. So just put a dollop of hot glue at the bottom, place that right in, and then I'll put another hot glue dollop right on the mediums, and then I will put those little baby ones in. Now, sometimes when I get to this point, like I can put a button in the middle, or I put like some beads, something like that to be the center of the flower. But in this case, I remembered on that sloth box frame from Dollar Tree, there were little roses on there. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to use one of those and I'm going to put that right as the centerpiece. So right here, I'm going to take this little pink one and right there in the center, and I think that's going to look so cute, and it matches like exactly. I didn't think of this prior. I thought of this after as I was debating what I was going to put in the center, and that worked out perfectly. So I just put a little hot glue and put that right into the center. Okay, so the next thing I am going to do is just attach it on to the burlap backing. However, I knew that it was going to kind of flop forward, so I had to think of a way to attach it. So I just took a piece of a popsicle stick, and I'm going to use that as a way to create a hard back. So I knew I wanted to use the lamb's ear from Walmart, but I'm like, let me attach it to the back first, and that'll make sure that's stable. So right here you can see that popsicle stick. I'm just going to cut a little piece off, and you'll see right here I'm going to put a ton of hot glue right on the back of that felt flower, and then at the same time I will put the popsicle stick all the way in the back. You'll see right here. See, push that on, and then right there we go. And that's going to stabilize that flower to make sure it sits straight up and it's not falling forward. So I knew I wanted to put these lamb's ear on, and so I am just cutting off any excess of those leaves, the ends of those leaves, and right here some hot glue, put right on the tip on both sides and kind of just press it down in there. I'll put one on the other side. I was going to leave it with 2, and then I thought I like things in 3s and in odd numbers, so I decided to put a 3rd leaf on the back as well. And I'm just going to kind of push it up to the side there. And that's it. This is done. I hope you like it as much as I do.
Looking up at a tree, I remember how it started. I was lost in a dream when the fire in my heart said an open rose. I've already found sunlight, the feeling grows, and anything sounds alright. I'm breaking loose, living in the
And here we are at the final reveal, my favorite part of the video. We get to recap everything we just made. So the first thing we made was this heart banner. I love it so much. It is so pretty. It is so shabby chic and very romantic. And I really love how it looked on that blue wooden frame. And I didn't even paint that frame. It came just like that and it was perfect. Then this Dollar Tree wreath turned out so cute with that little heart hanger. I love their thick wood there. Those hangers they have at Dollar Tree are just so like hardy looking, and I just love this so much. Hardy. That wasn't even planned. And then we have the Feb 14 sign. So cute and rustic. This is, you know, a little romantic side of Farmhouse. And that was an error that turned out perfect. Then we have the felt flower in a frame. And this was so pretty as well. And I just loved all 4 of these in a vignette together. They are just beyond pretty. So can you guess which one of these is my favorite? Well, it was the heart banner. But it was also the Feb 14 sign. I loved that because we made a good thing out of something that went wrong. So I loved both of those. Can you tell me in the comments below which one is your favorite? And I also want to thank Skillshare again for sponsoring this video.
So that's it, that's the end of my video. I hope you liked everything you saw here today, and I hope it inspires you to make something of your own. If you have not checked me out at Instagram over at Cat Luna Designs, please do so. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. And if you haven't subscribed, I would love if you did. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye! If you're returning, just say hi. And what are we gonna be waiting for? This isn't even what I say. So that's it. No, I don't even want to go there. That was done in like 7 takes.